All right, friends, welcome again to the blog. Since the last time, Orlando City drew against Atlanta in a game that saw Orlando City basically with like a C lineup. We had a lot of players injured, other players had gone to be with their respective um, national teams, and Orlando City went. We could have had the win, in my opinion. Could have gone either way, but at this point, Orlando City remains undefeated in 10 MLS games, which is a club record, and right now the longest streak in MLS. Unfortunately, last Sunday we were supposed to play Columbus Crew at home. At the time, Columbus Crew, the best team in the East and the front runner for the Supporters Shield. That has changed. Right now, Toronto is the team that holds that honor. And tonight, as I am recording this, we're going to be playing at home New York City, who is in a hot streak coming into Exploria. New York City and Orlando are two teams that came at the same time to the league in 2015, and that's where the similarities end. Both teams failed to make playoffs in that year, but New York City had the foresight of finding out right away the reason why they failed to make playoffs, and it was because of Jason Kreis, who they fired immediately. And of course, Orlando hired this waste man immediately in 2016, and probably some of the deepest holes that any club can get themselves into were dug by this man, which we fired, thank God. But of course, we fired him just to hire James O'Connor, who was no better. In the meantime, New York City has been making playoffs every year since. This year, they were at the bottom of the league, and they dug themselves out. Very impressive, by the way. And they are now about 6 points behind Orlando City. So it is important that Orlando wins this game, because right now in the fourth position, Orlando holds the last spot for home playoff advantage. I would like to make it into the playoffs playing at home, because nothing after that is guaranteed. And there's a lot of teams that end up making the postseason year after year, but they have to do so on the road. When you play on the road, the stakes, the opportunities, the chances to make playoffs are really, really stacked against you. So it's imperative that Orlando City remains in the top four. Also, it's important to remain in the top five in the East, because this means that Orlando City is going to be able to be in Leagues Cup at the beginning of next year, which will pair Orlando City with Mexican teams. And I honestly want to see Orlando City play against foreign competition to see where we are. And also, it's going to be a great dynamic to see the guys battle it out. I think it makes for a better preseason and gets us ready for the season. Now, that said, the night is supposed to be clear, no rain, anything like that. Last 3 home games have been rain, nothing but rain, so it makes it interesting. It's October. You will think that at this point, it's October 14th by the time I'm recording this, you will think that the temperature will start to cool, but it remains pleasantly warm. So it should be an interesting match. Let's just say that. New York City has injuries and players on that have moved on loan. They do, though, have their internationals still with them, so the advantage goes to them. But they had to travel today to Orlando. Orlando has been at home, and they played over the weekend. Orlando did not. So Orlando has that going for them. To be honest with you, I want 3 points. At this point, we have to start winning games. Toronto, with 37 points, has already clinched a postseason appearance. Orlando City, with 30 points, means that they will have to at least win the next 2 games or get till 36 points in order to also achieve officially that they're going to be in the postseason. But positioning on the table is critical at this point. And the game that we had that we were supposed to have against Columbus is going to have to be rescheduled, which means that the end of the season is going to be jam-packed with games. So we're going to be heading out to the stadium, hopefully to witness Orlando City winning or at least tying. The matchup against New York City has been one that has given us great games among the rivalry between these two teams. Orlando has had a lot of success against New York City. Orlando, with worse starting 11s, have managed to get results from New York City. And New York City is thirsty for revenge. Orlando City kicked them out of the USL tournament in 2019 in PKs. And the next time they saw each other was in the MLS SPAC game, a game that Orlando City won 3-1. So these guys really, really, really want to win. They want to defeat Orlando City at home in front of their fans, and in a game that matters, because if they shorten the distance between themselves and Orlando City, then they can basically make sure that they're going to have a home playoff game. Which, by the way, I'm sorry to say, MLS does not look good playing in a baseball field. That's just my opinion. So let's go find out what happens tonight. For me, in a few hours, and for you, in a couple of seconds. All right, my friends. So if you've been watching this vlog for a few episodes, you will recognize this. This view. This is my way into the stadium, and this is a Wednesday night. Usually these games have not been very well attended in the past. A lot of people in Central Florida not necessarily live in Orlando, and so to get off work and brave traffic into the city, it's really not that easy. I have the blessing that I'm within that 30-minute bubble away from the stadium. So I get to come whenever I want to, without too much struggle. And my job gives me the flexibility. So here I am. So I gotta tell you, the club has allowed 6,000 seats per game to be available. If 50% of that amount of people have shown up, that is quite a lot. That for sure has been something that has been very different. So I expect maybe 2,000 people tonight. We'll have to find out. One of the things that never ceases to amaze me when I come to the games is the stadium. If you would have told me in 2011 when I went to my first game at a dilapidated Citrus Bowl, that one day that little team in USL that I was watching, full of unknown players, one day it was going to transform itself into this this temple and this team with players that like Nani. I would have never believed you. So again, that's one of the things that as an Orlando City fan I'm very proud of, that we have developed ourselves into after all this here. So here we are. We're gonna go through security, all the COVID protocols, and I'll be seeing you guys on the other side. We're close to kickoff at this point. Well, the first half, 1-1. The New York City goal, Orlando City scored first, but the New York City goal was really sad. Raul made a stop, let the ball spill, which he had done several times, but he was lucky that nobody was near him. And this time, New York City reacted to the rebound. Orlando City got caught while watching flat-footed, and they tied it right before halftime, which is what sucks the most. Orlando City comes with fresh legs. They didn't play in the weekend. New York City did. New York City knows what's at stake is to shorten the gap between them and Orlando for that fourth spot for home field advantage in the playoffs. The boys need to wake up and do something. Too many sloppy giveaways that we got lucky that we were able to clear. And with that said, we just gotta walk away from this with 3 points. There's no other result that will be satisfactory in my opinion. So with that said, let's see what happens in the second half. Maybe the tiredness and the travel and the humidity get to New York City and it's back to Orlando City that walks away with the 3 points. A little disappointed how that goal came in. I thought Orlando City played very well, very aggressive, but the goal came in from Mueller very early in the half, and perhaps overconfidence took over. I don't know what else to say. So we'll see how this ends. That needs to be a yellow card. we are leaving the stadium. As you can see, downtown Orlando, Wednesday night. People going to the clubs. Well, the travesty is Orlando City ends up allowing a tie. Disappointed, really. New York City was a team that played Saturday, I believe, over the weekend for sure, and managed to fly down here the same day. They're going home the same day. Orlando City was rested. What hurts the most, if I can be quite honest, is the goal happened because Rose spilled the ball and our guys were not there to clear it. You can get mad at that, but at the same time, you have to look at the incredible saves that man did. One of them, I believe, he basically had to jump as high as the from the ground all the way to the top of the crossbar. That was impressive. That was incredibly impressive. But you know, my belief is that when your keeper has to pull those save of the week highlight video type of saves, you know, there's a complete breakdown in the defense in the back line. But we walk away with a point. If I'm not mistaken, as of right now, we have tied Columbus Crew in points, and because of our goal differential is better, we move to the third place. Columbus Crew lost tonight to FC Cincinnati. Incredible. Complete the debacle for those guys right now. Philadelphia lost also, I believe, to DC United, and which is incredible. And the fact is that with those type of results, where, you know, 3 points tonight could have allowed us to move closer to that supporter shield, we just dropped the points. We can also say, hey, you know, we didn't have any suitable substitutions off the bench in order to, you know, basically get more aggressive. You can say that, but, you know, and man, it's just disappointing, you know, and maybe it's a sign of the times when you already know that your team is capable of winning, your team is doing great, that ties no longer do it. I remember looking at situations like this and just being super excited that we walk away with a point because it's better than losing. And right now, you know, that won't cut it. So with that said, my friends, I say good night. And Orlando City right now is going to be heading out to New Jersey this weekend to play Red Bulls. We already played them here in Orlando and defeated them. Let's hope for a result there. And then after that, we're going to be going to Miami the following weekend, and then returning home on the 28th to play Atlanta, which is not going to be an easy game, as you have seen. Thank you for watching the vlog. And if nothing else, go City. See you guys next time.